What's going on social media? Happy Saturday. So last week, the White House released their housing supply action plan. This is to address and close the shortfall of homes over the next 5 years. So again, this is a 5,000 word document. It would have been about 16 pages to print out normally. So I lowered the font and went through it with a highlighter, took a bunch of notes, and I wanted to bring them to you now. Again, this is the housing supply action plan to close the gap over the next 5 years. In the action plan, they cite a Moody's Analytics report that is calling a 1.5 million housing shortage at the moment. And so, initially, over the next 3 years, their goal is to produce hundreds of thousands of housing units. So, again, this document is broken down by strategic goal areas, and there's 5 of them. I'm going to go over them now. The first one being providing incentives for land use and zoning reform and reducing regulatory barriers. They want to give higher scores for grants to jurisdictions that are promoting density and residential development. The next goal is going to be piloting new financing for housing production and preservation. They're going to be conducting a feasibility measure related to the purchasing of loans for manufactured homes, and they're going to be supporting greater securitization of these loans. So think of mortgage-backed securities with manufactured housing, which is what we used to call mobile homes. They're also going to be piloting ADU financing. ADUs are accessory dwelling units. In Miami and Hialeah, we call them efficiencies. But they're going to be piloting ADU financing to be able to construct. This is supposed to go hand in hand with the zoning reforms allowing for greater density in certain areas. Then you should be able to build an efficiency, and that should help by adding a housing supply unit. Lastly, for this goal, they're going to be expecting the USDA to educate lenders about existing loan products for construction to permanent financing. So essentially, they're going to be giving the loan note guarantee for the final product before construction even begins. So again, that was manufactured housing being securitized, the financing of ADU construction, and construction to permanent finance education. The next strategic goal is going to be improving and expanding existing federal financing. They're going to be targeting stable investment and liquidity into multifamily development. They're going to be urging state, local, and tribal government to leverage more funds from the American Rescue Plan. They're going to be steering developers with tax credits. They're going to be advancing the home program. They're going to be restarting initiatives that support multifamily development. They're going to be reducing and streamlining the requirements and procedures to reach federal funding. They're going to be supporting multifamily development in rural areas. That's a big one. They're going to make the process easier to identify and dispose of federal property to developers to be able to repurpose into homes for people experiencing homelessness. And they're going to be supporting funding through the Indian Housing Block Grant to finance construction in Indian country. That is a lofty goal. Fourth goal is going to be preserving the availability of affordable single-family homes for owner-occupants. So currently, what their goal is foreclosures that are not purchased and that are now owned by the government because they backed a loan are going to be sold exclusively to owner-occupants or mission-driven entities for the first 30 days. They're going to be targeting at least 50% of these sales overall to owner-occupants and to mission-driven entities, and they're going to be encouraging the use of community development block grant again to owner-occupants and mission-driven entities. The last goal is going to be addressing other constraints to supply, namely material costs and labor supply. They're going to be partnering with the private sector to address supply chain disruptors, exploring additional actions and that the federal government can take. So essentially, they're planning to plan. They're going to be promoting modular, panelized, and manufactured housing and construction research and development. And in fact, the Housing and Urban Development, the Department of Housing and Development HUD, they are in next month. They're going to be in Washington, D.C. at the National Mall for the Innovation Housing Showcase, demonstrating some of these new technologies. Um, I am expecting a lot of this technologies are going to be geared more towards the production of multifamily development because a lot of what this action plan included was movement for multifamily development. And honestly, a lot of it included calls to Congress to pass additional measures. For example, the labor supply. The only bit of their of mention of labor supply in this particular goal was the call to Congress. There was no action item on it. So if you would like any information, any additional information on this, or you'd like to know more, please do feel free to reach out. My name is Marvin Mora. I am a broker associate with Douglas Elliman down in Coral Gables, Florida. You guys stay safe. Take care. Bye bye.